it on backwards. Hold on. I'll get it. Shit! No. Yo, it's me, CSCOTT-AB. One second, please. That was worse than the first time I did it. I have to redo this review because somehow, again... Hold on. I gotta make sure it's not backwards again. This is... Should I read? Okay. Because this time, once again, I got stuck in the other position. So I gotta redo this whole review. I gotta start writing shit down. Okay. I think that would be good. So we are on to The Amazing Spider-Man. My show the inside. It's just webs. It's just webs. Get the 3-disc. Got this from Walmart back in the day. Wasn't when it first came out. When I liked the movie when I went to see it in the theater, and I liked it, but I didn't get it right away for some reason. I don't remember why. I just didn't. I didn't even get the second one right away when it came out. I got it from Family Video, and I'm like, okay, I need the first one now. So I bought this from Walmart when Spider-Man Homecoming came out. Yeah. I mean, they played this on TV all the time, so I didn't really need to get it, but I got it. So this once again tells the origin story of Spider-Man, Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man. This time he's, instead of, he's in a tour like he was in the original Spider-Man movie, but this time he's not supposed to be part of the tour. It's like a gifted class, and he pretends to be someone else to get close to Kirk Connors because he knew his father. So when he gets there, he gets bit by one of the radioactive spiders when he's hiding, I think, and then he gets the powers. And yes, somebody didn't talk about in the first part. I always remember stuff that he actually builds, and this kind of solved my kind of problem I was talking about in the earlier ones, where how does it go through the suit? Well, in this one, he builds the web shooters out of a watch, probably a couple watches, and it's actually over his suit. So yeah, there's that. And and Uncle Ben dies this time trying to stop someone who was robbing a convenience store. Peter goes to the convenience store to get some milk. He's 2 cents short, and the guy won't sell him the milk. I mean, can people be understanding? It's 2 cents. If I went to a store, I'd be like, oh, I'm 2 pennies short. But they'd be like, oh, that's no big deal. It's 2 pennies. Yeah. This guy just won't give him the milk. And then this guy's robbed by someone else, and, Peter's giving the milk anyway by the robber. And then, Peter's jumped about this guy, and he's not like nothing about it. Wouldn't give me my damn milk, you know what I mean? But, sorry, I have a bit of a cold. Uncle Ben tries to stop the guy in his shot, so that still builds into Peter's, guilty conscience. The movie actually begins showing us, Peter's parents. We can see Peter's parents. There's something going on with them. Someone broke into his dad's office, and so they take him to Aunt May and Uncle Ben's, and then they leave. And we find out what happens to them in the second one, so I'm not going to spoil it, but not to the second one anyway. So, he's, and again, they got 30-year-olds playing high school students. Well, I think Andrew Garfield is actually 28 when he was filming this. He's 30 by the time the second one comes around. But I like Flash Thompson this one better. I don't remember who's playing Chris. Well, I got that thing on. Hold on. Oh, this is the right one. Okay. First time I did this, I landed on it, and I was actually playing the rest of the video game before I started doing this, and it was just going do on the screen. Chris Zilka. I just remembered. Go through all this. Sally Field. Chris Zilka portrays Flash Thompson, high school bully. And to me, Chris Zilka looks a lot like Alan Richardson, you know, like Blue Mountain State, something like that. But anyway, yeah. So this movie has the villain is the Lizard, which I've been waiting for them to do, and they were gonna do it, I think, in Spider-Man 4 originally, and they were gonna recast the role instead of Dylan Baker playing Hunter Connors. I think it was supposed to be Bruce Campbell, which I think would have been a little better. I think that's, you know, he was in the first three, so you know, it would have worked. But no, we got, again, I might be butchering this like I did in the last one. Rhys Ifans, I think is how you pronounce his name. So yeah, and he does a good job with it. Although in this film, Dr. Connors is portrayed as always being a villain, where, at least from the perspective I get, is that he had villainous tendencies is the words I should use. He has villainous tendencies. Although towards the end, he does save Peter, who's going to fall off the Oscorp tower. But I always remember the one from the cartoon where he was a family man who injected himself to get his arm back, and then the lizard part took over and made him evil. He wasn't evil or villainous the whole time. Spider-Man saves this little kid off a bridge, and later that comes back around full circle when the father helps Spider-Man, gets all the crane workers so he can swing his way to Oscorp Tower to stop the lizard. There's good chemistry between Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield, which is good because they did eventually start dating. Not anymore, but yeah, and what's his name? I said it in the last one. Dennis Miller. No. Dennis Farina? No. Dennis Franz. No. Dennis Hopper. I'm really gonna have to look it up. Cleary. Dennis Cleary. God. Name every Dennis in the book. Dennis Cleary. Cleary? Is that... Am I saying his name right? Leary. Dennis Leary. I said it right the first time in the previous review, which is why that one should have worked. But it didn't. Anyway, Dennis Leary portrays Captain George Stacy. I'm looking right at it. Police Captain George Stacy. And he dies at the end. He finds out that Peter is Spider-Man because he has him at gunpoint. He turns around and he's like, Parker. And Peter says to him, he's heading towards Oscorp Tower. Your daughter is there now. You need to let me go. He does, not before one of the cops gets shot off. Shoots him in the leg, even though he leaves a bloody handprint. So I don't know. And then that's where the crane operators help him get to the tower. So fight on the tower. And, you know, the lizard wants to turn everyone else into lizards. But she turns a couple cops or security guards into lizards. And he has this stuff that's going to turn them into lizards, but there's an antidote, and that's what Gwen has to get to Spider-Man. And her father takes it from her, says, I'll get it to him. And she's like, you don't understand. He goes, I understand. Your boyfriend wears many masks, or something like that. And so he gets it to him. He tries to fight off the lizard kills him. And then Peter puts the stuff in, the lizard doesn't realize it, and he's all like, yes, I did it, when it starts working, but then just turns him back. And then, like I said, he saves Peter. There's one thing I want to talk about though, and that's Aunt May. Why didn't he just tell Aunt May he's Spider-Man? Because at the end, he comes. There's this thing earlier where he's supposed to get eggs, but he comes back and he's been beaten up. And he forgot the eggs. Well, at the end he brings in the eggs. They have a hug, and I'm like, why don't you just say I'm Spider-Man? That would explain why you're beaten up. You know, the other Aunt May in the first 3 films, while there was never revealed to her, I had a feeling she knew. So yeah, but you could have told her. You know, and it's never carried on to the next movie. She's in the second one. I think she's taking nursing classes, which I don't know. But we got a post-credit scene with Michael Massee, who I believe is an underrated actor. He plays the gentleman, this guy that comes to talk to Connors. Michael Massee, may he rest in peace. He was an underrated actor. He was in things like he was in The Crow, and he was indirectly responsible for Brandon Lee's death. He didn't mean to do it. It was like it was the gun. Something with the gun. I could look it up, but to be sure, I am gonna do a review series on the Crow movies, all 4 of them, even though I started spelling it the wrong way. Brandon Lee. Death. Okay, it's sad. In the scene where Michael Massee's character fires a Smith & Wesson model 629.44 Magnum revolver at Lee as he walks into the room. A previous scene using the gun had called for the dummy cartridges with no powder in it to be loaded into a revolver for close-up. 4 film scenes that utilize a revolver where bullets are visible do not require the gun to actually be fired. Instead of commercial dummy cartridges, the film's prop crew created their own. Oh, there's a problem. Live rounds, dumbing the powder charges and reinserting the bullets. However, unknowingly, unintentionally left the live primer in place near the rear of the cartridge. At some point during the filming, the revolver apparently discharged. I'm not trying to plagiarize, I'm just reading it out loud. So, there was an accident. There was stuff in it that set off the primer in it, giving enough force to drive the bullet partially into the barrel where it became stuck, known as squib load. The prop crew failed to notice this or failed to recognize its significance. In the fatal scene, the revolver had to be fired at Brandon Lee. Dummy cartridges were exchanged with blank rounds. Feature a live powder charge, no bullet, which allows the gun to be fired without the risk of actual projectile coming out. However, since the bullet from the dummy round was already trapped in the barrel, then the 44 Magnum bullet was fired out of the barrel with almost the same force as if the gun had been loaded with a live round, and struck Lee in the abdomen, mortally wounding him. So yeah, it was an accident. But Michael Massee took a break after that. I should have waited for my Crow review to talk about this, but it kind of came in. But yeah, Michael Massee to me was an underrated actor, and it's too bad he passed away. He has a small scene in this one and a small scene in the second one, which he should have had more to do with the second one, as they were setting up something, but maybe he would have been involved with the third one had there been one. But anyway, he shows up, he asked Connors if he had told him about his father. Connors says no, and then it ends. That's the post-credit scene. So yeah, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good when I went to see it in the theater. It's still good now. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to Sky Movie Rules. And I'll see you next time. Please tell me that worked.